Hello BookTube, it's Joshua here, and today I'm going to be making a tag video. This is the banned books tag. It was created by Miss Peepers-Reading-Corner, or Katrina, and I was tagged by Isaiah at that reading guy. So thank you to both of you guys. And yeah, I'll just get into the prompts. The first question is, do you intentionally read banned books? Why or why not? And I do not intentionally read banned books. I've seen a number of booktubers doing the banned books challenge. I think it was something like 25 banned books in 2025. And well, the reason why I don't participate in something like that, and the reason why I don't especially choose out banned books is partly just because I'm a general slow reader, so if I were to only base my reading off of banned books, or even if I were to choose, a handful of banned books to read, that would take up a large portion of my reading year. I essentially I already have other things to get to, so that's kind of the reason why I don't intentionally read banned books, because simply because I guess I don't have the time, or I'm distracted with other things. I just haven't given it enough thought, really. And two, tell us about your favorite banned book. Well, here's the thing. I don't really exactly know. I don't know how to tell it. I don't know how to tell if a book is banned exactly, because a book could be banned in one place and not banned in somewhere else. However, where I live in Alberta, which is a province in Western Canada, we do have a very socially conservative government, and this summer there was a big controversy over that government's attempt to ban a whole list of books, including some classics. So I did look at that list, and I picked out 1984 by George Orwell, which is being banned. I believe it's banned only from grades 1 to 9. High schoolers can access 1984 in schools. But that does kind of annoy me, because actually this was one of the very first reading experiences I've ever had where I really enjoyed the novel. I mean, I read Percy Jackson when I was a bit younger, but this was really the first classic that I read and really enjoyed and was affected by. And I read that in grade 9. So now if there's some other grade 9 kid who wants to read this, they won't be able to, or it'll be a lot harder to get the book, which does annoy me, actually. It annoys me a lot. I think that when I was in grade 9, I was mature enough to handle the themes in here. I don't know, I don't know, I didn't read any, I don't know if they wrote down any kind of reasoning for why they banned 1984. Was it because, I think there's, if I remember correctly, there's a relationship in here. I don't know if the couple has sex in here, but I don't think 14-year-old me was traumatized by whatever was in here. It was, it taught me a lot, actually. It taught me a lot about authoritarian regimes. And I was mature enough to understand it. And I find that okay, now I'm just going on a rant. I find that the Alberta government banning that is incredibly condescending. Anyway, but that's a rant. I think what was the prompt again? Tell us about your favorite banned book. Okay, actually, that prompt was tell us about your favorite banned book, and the next one was share a story about book banning, and that's the story I wanted to share. So I kind of answered two prompts in one go. But yeah, the Alberta government banned 1984. They banned Brave New World. They banned a bunch of works by Margaret Atwood and by Alice Munro, and some other works like Colleen Hoover, which it's not, I don't agree with that. I think that's dumb, really. You ban, again, I'm going off on a tangent. If you're gonna ban something, maybe ban phones, don't ban books. 4, which book would you memorize to save it from the censors? So for this, oops. Sorry, I accidentally leaned my phone against the book that I was going to hold up. That was dumb. I figured, if there are censors really banning books, then I would try to memorize this biography of Hitler. This is by Ian Kershaw. It's Hitler, 1889 to 1936, Hubris. The second volume is up on my shelf. I guess I would try to memorize both because, well, one of the things that I learned while I was reading 1984 is that one of the things that authoritarian regimes do is they rewrite history. And so it's obviously important to remember what actually happened, to read accounts of some of the most important historical events in our era or in the previous era that are based off of fact. And so memorizing something like this would be very important. At the same time, though, I probably wouldn't get much pleasure out of memorizing a biography of Hitler. So if we were talking about, say we were living in a world where the government like bans all books, you have no more access to books at all, well then I think I would simply try to memorize the complete works of Shakespeare, or some of my favorite poets. Like maybe I'd try to memorize the complete works of Wallace Stevens or William Butler Yeats or James Merrill. I think that would be what I would choose if I, couldn't have access to them anymore and had to memorize them in order to be able to read them. Or Moby Dick. Moby Dick would be another one. Just something that I could repeatedly go back to, and it would give me constant pleasure. Yeah. 5. Are there any books that challenge your beliefs about book banning? Be honest. Tell us more. Well, I watched Isaiah's video, and he mentioned Mein Kampf. And that's really the only book that I can think of. And it does challenge my beliefs about book banning, because, well, my beliefs are that no books should be banned, no matter what, even evil books. And Mein Kampf is certainly an evil book. I look at Mein Kampf, or I think of it. I've never read it myself, but I've, heard enough about it. I've read enough excerpts that have been quoted in this book to know something of what it's trying to do. It's propaganda. It's presenting to you a crude and all-expansive worldview, and it's trying to suck you into that world and make it your worldview. It is, an extremely evil book, and it's that worldview that would go on to kill 6 million Jews. So, thinking of that, it does make me angry that it exists. And so there is in me an impulse to say, I don't want this book to exist. I want to ban it. But at the same time, I can't actually let myself give in to that impulse. I think it's the whole slippery slope argument. If I start thinking that way about Mein Kampf, what's stopping me or whoever's in power from going on from there until it comes to the point that they aren't banning purely evil books, but they're banning books that are valuable, but books that shouldn't be banned. So something like Mein Kampf does very much challenge my beliefs, but even with that, I don't want it to be banned. Isaiah made the really great point, which I would not have thought of, that people should, even if there's an evil book out there, people should be allowed to read it. People should be allowed to say horrible things if it's, as long as it's not directly harming anyone. But they should be allowed to do that, because what he said is that if 1% of society keeps on challenging the established beliefs of everyone else, even if that 1% is, what they're saying is horrible, it's important that they're there, because then the other 99% can practice defending their beliefs. I think he phrased it as, having, how do you say it? It prevents our beliefs from becoming dogma, is what he said. And that's a really brilliant point. I would not have thought of that. So yeah. And that's the whole tag. I suppose it was pretty short for me. I didn't have too much to say, but I think I got what I wanted to say out. And the next prompt is to tag people. So I'm going to tag Justin at Triumphal Reads, John Blair at The Fiction Orbit, Daniel Nagel at Nagel Bagel, Elijah at Jaw Reads, David Novak at David Novak Reads Poetry, Andrew at You Could Be Reading More, Denson at Robin Song Reads, and Steve Donahue, who has been on something of a tag streak recently. So hopefully he'll do this one as well. Anyway, thank you for watching BookTube, and goodbye.